Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. Gonna be getting into this one a little bit late, as unfortunately op.gg is dead for NA at the moment, and Kha'Zix.in, or however you want to pronounce that one, it didn't update very well. I was attempting to get into the game while watching MapleStreet here. But unfortunately, once you go to it once, it doesn't refresh. So that kind of sucks. We do have a gank coming in here onto Udyr. It's actually the first of the game. We just saw the kill. Mundo actually came in for the gank, which is kind of unusual, but he's actually destroying that Udyr. Udyr had a bad time, and yeah, Mundo actually got that kill. So thankfully we didn't miss any kills, although Diana's on her way over here. Yeah, so in the end, it's actually kind of worth it. All we missed, really, was the first 2 minutes of nothing happening. So I'm kind of okay with that. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know what's going on with op.gg. I ended up using Kha'Zix with a dot. But, like I said, unfortunately, once you visit a page, it apparently caches it and won't update until you go to somebody else's. So I ended up getting into Fabbbyy's in order to get into this game. Even though both of them are in it, it still shows MapleStreet here as not being in the game, so that was kind of frustrating. A little chaotic for me as I was panicking, because I was watching on his stream, and, looking at it, I was like, he's in a game, I see him in a game, why are you not casting this? And finally I did manage to go ahead and get it. But that's actually the reason I decided to cast this game as well, because he is actually streaming at the moment. Streams pretty often. Definitely check him out if you're interested in him. He's in Team 8, not playing as part of the team right now. He's just doing the, just solo queue for the moment. Oh man, Udyr having a problem? No, just getting low there. Yeah, just solo queuing right now. His previous game, he was actually Quinn, which was pretty darn entertaining. He went godlike a couple times. He almost got a pentakill, almost, but not quite. So that was cool too. Ended up winning that game, so good job to him. But it's kind of cool seeing a Vlad. I haven't seen a Vlad in a long time. This one is played by Lee Sin, baby! Which is not Lee Sin at all, but that's fine. He is against the Mundo, who got that early kill there. That was an actual invade by Mundo. That's kind of hilarious. Alright, so Mundo's played by Zen, the Solo King, who, definitely showing his solo queue king status here as he goes off and gets solo kills on the enemy jungler while playing top. In the mid lane, we've got Fizz, who here getting low again, but that's fairly normal. Played by Soren, maybe Bjergsen, but probably not. He's going to be against Scarred for Life, which is Scar's old name, but it's not Scar anymore. It's actually somebody else that is not Scar. I don't remember who it was. I remember reading about it once before, but that was a long time ago. Either way, it's not Scar, guys. It's just somebody copying the name. Down in the bot lane, we've got Graves. That's a new icon, and I did not identify that for a second there. Actually, so is Udyr, but Graves played by Seppuku AW, and he's going to be against the Draven here, played by Fabbbyyy, which, everybody loves seeing Fabbbyyy on Draven, so that's kind of cool. Supports, we've got Teemo Janna. Darn you and your Teemo. Alright, versus MapleStreet playing Morgana. And then finally, we've got the junglers, Lala Islands playing Kha'Zix, who's actually invading and stealing up this double golems here. And he's going to be against Strumpist playing the Udyr, who's been having a really tough time this game. Udyr's having Mundo, is having a pretty good time against the Vlad here. Unfortunately missed his slow there, but in comes the Kha'Zix, and that is a dead Lee Sin, baby! Was that a flash? That was a flash. Why Kha'Zix flashed that? I have a feeling there's probably a fat finger going on there, but definitely sucks for him. But either way, they got a kill on the Vladimir there, which is good news for them. Scarred for Life over here, trading with the Fizz. Actually coming out a little bit behind there, but did force the Fizz back anyway, so not really too big of a deal. Honestly, I can't say I'm overly surprised. It's Diana. I mean, Diana has a pretty tough time right now. I do like this Diana skin, though. It's a very nice skin. Very nice indeed. I did see Scara playing it the other day. And who knows, maybe Scar reclaimed his name, but I'm almost certain that's not the case. Mundo coming around for a gank again, sees the Diana there. Not going to go for her though, of course, as she was walking away. And of course, she was able to see him warding there, so they know exactly what's there. There he goes, going in on the Udyr, who says, oh crap, and he's maybe dead again. Nice dodge of the briefcase though, so that's not going to be the case. Corporate Mundo, you do not get a kill. Attempted gank coming from the Kha'Zix did not end up working out either, so he's going to be forced to back off. And there we go, the MIA ping from Vlad hours after the Mundo had already ganked. And he's like, yep, he's not here. Well, yeah, definitely not. But honestly, it's Challenger, so a lot of times they don't need the MIA pings anyway. As you can see by the fact that he got nothing out of it this time. Alright, so down here in the bot lane, Fabbbyyy and MapleStreet doing work. We've got a almost 20 CS lead here for Fabbbyyy, which is really good. Graves, of course, has that small range, so he's going to have a tough time. And then, of course, you've got the Morgana, who lands those long-distance bindings. And that could just wreck you. Janna's not able to do much for it. Looks like there was a little bit of a fight here going on for Wraiths, but I think Udyr won it. Looked like I saw it going into him. The Draven did go ahead and head back, though. Up at the top lane, if we look at the CS, the Mundo is actually a little ahead, which is not something you want to see. The Mundo being ahead means that he's going to scale better than your top lane or late game, and Mundo, of course, late game is a monster. So, on the other hand, though, I mean, so is Vlad. Vlad's pretty dangerous late game as well if he can get there. I think that Mundo is better, but I could definitely be wrong about that. I kind of like the new Janna little icon there. That one looks pretty cool. The Graves, that took me for a second there. They're actually going for the Diana here, and Udyr says hello, and in goes Diana. She's going to be able to get a kill. She does. Does she get hit there? No, she goes straight for Soren. Down he goes. That is a double kill actually for the Udyr. Janna tried to help, did not end up happening. Now Udyr's doing his best to take her down, but she's able to go ahead and use her ultimate there just to shunt him away. And of course, that is the huge thing about Udyr. You can easily shunt him away, and you're not going to care anymore. So up here in the top lane, we did see an engagement going on between these two. Looks like the Mundo actually did a lot of damage to the Vladimir here, just by regular briefcase tosses, and then of course the burning agony just kept him harassed down. He's getting really low, and I guess he probably just got hit by another briefcase, and that was the end for Vlad. Oh! He actually died to the briefcase. Getting hit by every briefcase, not so good for survival. Not so good at all. He does have teleport back up, though, so he'll be back up there pretty soon, I believe. And we'll have to see if that ends up really... He shouldn't miss too much CS as long as he teleports. He'll miss, I believe, 4. One of them will be the big one. There we go, coming in. Actually, no, he's going to get the big one. So all in all, he missed 2 CS. Not really too big of a deal. When they're going in on the Dragon, so that's going to help the team a lot, and it will actually possibly be able to help the Vlad. Mundo is really low here, but nobody's even close. So he's going to be fine. There we go. He pops his ultimate, and he's going for the red buff here. Actually going to be assisted by the Kha'Zix. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and head back in this bush. Going to be able to get out of this with no problem. Even if somebody did walk up there, I think he'd have a pretty bad time. So there we go. Looks like there is a ping on Diana here. We may see a gank coming in shortly by the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is on his way down, but somehow they got vision of that, so they knew it was going to happen. The Diana wisely decided to back off, but she is actually being closed in on by Janna as well. Udyr's hanging around, so he's there if they need it. It looks like it's not going to end up happening, though. The fact that Udyr was there scared off the Kha'Zix, so there will be no ganking going on there. The roam from Janna here is actually really important, as honestly, down bottom, she's not been able to do much. Barely got out of that. Yeah, she's been pretty... Not able to do much at all because the Graves hasn't been able to get close. So, I mean, she's useful when they're actually... nice dodge. when they're actually at the tower, but other than that, not really much. Teleport coming out from the Udyr, actually. Gonna go for the Kha'Zix. Stuns him under the tower. Kha'Zix flashes out and walks right back in, so he ends up going down. And that was a really good save, but in comes the Fizz, puts the fish onto the Udyr. Udyr goes for the Mundo, though. Udyr goes down. I don't think that the Mundo is going to go down. And no, the Fizz does manage to go ahead and secure the kill onto Vlad, though. Out comes the Draven ulti. Not going to do a thing. Not a thing at all. Not going to hit anybody. But Diana did take the opportunity to go ahead and shove down that mid turret, which is what she needed to do. Also, the bot lane went straight for this Draven. Draven goes down, and Graves goes down to Draven, and they were also able to go ahead and grab that tower, which is pretty much exactly what they need. Nice bind there by MapleStreet, and that's probably a dead Kha'Zix. Oh! The shield from Janna keeping him alive, but unfortunately for her, she actually is going to escape this as well due to a very nicely timed ult. Fizz is on his way down, gonna get picked up by this ward, but they are already on the run anyway, so it's not gonna matter. Oh. New icons for towers and the inhibitors. I did not notice that. I actually haven't played on the newest patch yet. I've kind of been taking a break from League to some extent. And yeah, I did not notice this at all. Completely new icons. Still the same towers, but new icons. Of course, the new towers will be with the new version of League, which I'm really looking forward to. It's getting pretty close, guys. It's getting really close, and I'm definitely wanting it to happen soon. So, takes a tower shot, doesn't care. Graves is getting some farm here, though, which is really good for him. In the meantime, though, Draven did go ahead and rotate mid here. Oh, yeah, you better watch out. You better watch out. Morgana going for the Janna here. Actually, no, just kidding. She's going for the ward. Does not get it. Is she going to land on the... force the Janna back? Janna is going to be fine, though. She's walking away. Graves was up on his way up here to in case he was needed. He wasn't, and he decided to go ahead and go straight for those double bubbles. Mundo is way out of position here, though. He's going to go down. There is pretty much no way he's going to get out of this. Out comes the Morgana ulti. He goes down to the Diana. Yeah, he was in a really bad position here. Trying to go for that jungle gank again. Not so good of an idea when the entire enemy team's mid. Because then they all collapse on you and you die and you do nothing. And that's exactly what happened there. Red team's continuing to shove this mid lane. A little bit of damage coming out onto the Fizz there, but he did have a shield, so it didn't matter. And just the presence of Morgana, enough to go ahead and scare this Graves away. I can't say I blame him. He's been having a pretty tough game so far. I mean, he is 1-1-0, but he's so far behind, and actually not all that far behind in CS either by now, thanks to that roam from Draven. A lot of the minion kills have been going to Diana, and Draven really hasn't got much out of this roam so far. Vlad doing work on the tower, though. He's actually going to be the first one to get a tower down, but he's going to die for it. Almost definitely. They're going, but the red team is coming. He's just going to teleport out. Is he? He does not make it. He tried to teleport out, failed miserably, and unfortunately died miserably. But it was a good attempt. About half a second longer and he actually would have lived. Almost definitely. Does Fish go through ults? I'm not sure. I think Fish probably would follow. So he still might have ended up going down just to the Fish. But we do have the red team collapsing here on the blue team. And things are about to turn. It's actually a 4 versus 4, so I'm not sure who will come out of this one ahead. They're both even, but the red team is under tower. The blue team now rotating down bottom, but they are, I believe, getting picked up by wards, so the red teams know exactly what's going on. Kha'Zix waiting in the bush, gonna go for Morgana. MapleStreet lands the stun onto Janna. He's going down, though, and the rest of his team is not able to follow. In comes the Vlad. Janna got ulti. She's about the only one, but in goes the Draven. She is dead. One auto attack to finish her off. There we go. And there is actually a team fight here. Down goes the Kha'Zix. Mundo's able to secure Draven, though. Fizz is going to go down as well, I believe. He did manage to take down the Vlad beforehand, and he's not quite dead yet. Diana going for the Mundo. Almost definitely going to be able to finish him off there. And there we go. He goes down. Fizz still getting chased by the Udyr. Lands the fish on him, but Diana's on her way down, and Udyr decides to, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. And backs off. So the Fizz is actually going to be able to survive that. So a tower down here for the blue team, and that ends up, I believe, going in their favor, though only slightly. Scarred for life, going here, gets the kill onto Fizz with that Crescent Strike. Nicely done there, flashed for it even, but got a kill, so it's definitely worth it there. Looks like the red team thinking about going for this dragon again. Can't say I blame them. They know that the blue team's not really going to be able to do too much about it, and the blue team doesn't even have a ward, so they don't know what's going on. That's going to be a free dragon again for the red team. Maple Street doing the juggling of aggro here, or attempting to. Still took a couple more shots than was really necessary, but still, I mean, they did reduce a decent amount of damage. Draven, gotta watch out because this move is pretty darn dangerous. He has been really doing work so far. He does have a Giant's Belt, Spirit Massage, and Chain Vest. He is, of course, built in large part MR at the moment. So he would still take a decent amount of damage from Fabbbyyy there, but of course, Fabbbyyy would also take a lot of damage from him. So Fabbbyyy definitely does need to be careful here. 100%. Especially given the fact that Mundo does have his ultimate up. So I don't think that Fabbbyyy would be able to kill him if they decided to get him in a one-on-one. But not going to end up happening anyway. Fabbbyyy just defending the tower, and we've got a fight going on down here. Or actually more of a gank than a fight. Looks like they all came down here for Diana, who's hanging out in mid lane getting the CS. But the enemy team's collapsing on you. You gotta watch out. In goes the Graves first. Fish comes out from Fizz. Diana goes straight for Graves. Not going to be enough, though. He ends up going down to the Fizz there. And yeah, that was a pretty unfortunate death there. The red team coming down here to defend this tower if the enemy goes for it. Unfortunately for the blue team, they decided to go for that dragon, which is 100% not there. On the plus side for them, they are going for they did manage to get this tower up here, but Fabbyy's doing work. Getting low, though. He made it going down. Flash from Mundo. He goes down. But the Udyr is actually doing a lot of damage here. Up comes the Vladimir as well. Gonna be able to secure at least one of these. Out comes the ult. Out comes the ult. Yes. Gets the ult onto Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is dead. And going for the Mundo now as well. Down goes the Mundo. And the kill for Mundo actually goes to the Udyr. In the meantime, though, the blue team did take that opportunity to go for this mid tower, as well as having Fizz shove this bot tower. So they got at least one tower out of it, and a decent amount of damage, well, a little bit of damage there on another tower as well. But now it looks like the red team's actually pinging, oh hey, Scarred for life, going for this Fizz, and maybe able to secure this. Out comes the ultimate there, goes down, thanks to that ultimate from Janna, helping to heal up the Fizz, as well as just shoving Diana away, because she can't do a thing if you shove her away after she's already used her second ult charge there. Morgana and Draven are here to defend this tower. It's still going to take a lot of damage and possibly go down, but in the meantime, the rest of their team is actually soloing Baron, sorry. But Kha'Zix is here, and he says, oh hey, out comes the teleport from Mundo, and this is going to be a pretty close thing. It's going to come down to a 50-50, and Kha'Zix actually got it there. Kha'Zix is going to go down to Udyr, actually. And the only question is, will Mundo go down? Udyr is actually a lot more tanky now. So he's definitely doing a lot more surviving than he used to. Still ends up going down, though, because he stuck around a little bit too long. And they do manage to take down the Mundo, but they lost Baron for it. It's kind of hard to not get outsmited by a Kha'Zix, especially when you're somebody like Udyr. Udyr doesn't have that extra burst damage that Kha'Zix has in his Q, so Kha'Zix is able to go Q Smite and just instantly do a lot more damage than an Udyr is going to be able to do with his Smite. And of course, Udyr, let's see, if we look at the, no, they're actually the same level. Actually, Udyr's slightly ahead in levels, but I'm not sure if what the level difference was when that actually began. Judging by the XP, though, I have a feeling that Udyr was slightly ahead on levels, so his Smite did a little bit more damage, but it was definitely that Q from Kha'Zix that allowed him to secure that. And that's definitely unfortunate for the red team, because that actually would have been a huge boost for them, and made it very much the game swing in their favor. But instead, it ended up going 100% in the red team's favor. Yeah, they lost 2 members of their team, but they got the Baron buff. On the other hand, though, they really haven't done much with their Baron buff. They've mostly just been sitting around. So, Not utilizing the Baron buff, definitely a mistake on their part. They haven't been shoving, they haven't been doing anything. Looks like they're wanting to get a pick on Morgana here, but she's playing really cautious. She doesn't really need to get far up. She's got that pool. And slowly shoving it up, she is... Oh! Yeah, they were on a ward. She knew. Didn't notice that under their champion model, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, they're on a ward the whole time. Oh! Dark Binding just barely gets dodged there. Gonna be fine. In they go. In goes Udyr, though. Just kidding. Just kidding. Charged up the bear form. Did not go in anyway. What the heck? Why would you do that? Did he really just do that? Looks like Fizz decided to go for Morgana here. Is that really what happened there? Alright, so Udyr's here. And Fizz goes in on Morgana. Gets stunned under the tower. Does land the fish on her, but of course there's the spell shield which absorbs enough of the damage that MapleStreet's able to survive this. Now it's suddenly a 4 versus 5, and Graves isn't even close. The red team is actually not really chasing this though, so the blue team's not going to come out of this too far behind. But that was definitely a mistake there on the part of Fizz, going under tower for that. I guess he thought he could just burst her and get out. Unfortunately, she was able to go ahead and land that Dark Binding, which stuck him under tower away from her. So he ended up going down to that. Udyr shoving this forward. Mundo says hi. I think that hit, but I'm not sure. But the rest of the red team in the meantime is shoving here mid. Janna forced to run away. But gonna deal, you know, she's gonna shield that up. Kha'Zix is around. The Graves is around. But Kha'Zix gets chunked by Fabbbyyy. And the only saving grace there for the blue team is the fact that red team only had 3 members. Going now for the Vlad. Vlad took a little bit of damage. In goes Soren and takes down Fabbbyyy instantly. So he's still wanting to go for this possibly. Diana uses her pull-in ability there. Does not end up landing though. And Fizz goes for that Vladimir. Vladimir doing his best to life sustain up. Diana doing work as well, but we're going to look at this first. Fizz goes in. Nice flash, though, from Vlad, and that is a dead Fizz. Let's follow the Diana down here now, see what exactly happened there. And looks like she decided to go instantly burst down the Janna. Goes for the Graves immediately after. Got the double kill, followed through with the triple kill onto Fizz. But in the meantime, Mundo is just split pushing down here, getting towers. Got that tower here. Not going to be able to get this tower. Not going to be able to get that one. But Kha'Zix is going for the dragon. Actually taking a lot of damage from it too, but he should be okay. Should be okay, but this is a dragon again for the blue team. Well, not again for the blue team, but it's going to be their first dragon of the game, actually, I believe. But still, having that dragon puts them slightly ahead on the gold. 500 gold, which is not really a big deal. And the red team's doing their best to close that lead because they're able to farm right now. And pretty much none of the blue team are. So, rapidly closing the lead there. And it is pretty much an even game at this point. If we look at the CS totals, these guys are close. These guys, not so much. 80 carries are close, which is always good news. Morgana has a bit more CS than Janna. Doesn't matter too much, but Udyr definitely has a bit more CS than Kha'Zix. As well as actually a lot of kills and assists. So his ganks have definitely been more effective there. But we'll have to see if he can end up really doing anything with it. Because of course the enemy team does have Janna, which is really unfortunate for a Udyr. Because she makes it so easy to go ahead and kite him. Does he have Feral Flare or something? He does have Feral Flare. Okay, that's why he's off farming the jungle right now. This pink ward has been there forever. They have not walked in that bush to kill that pink ward, and it has done so much work for that blue team. That was placed like minute 5 or something. Maybe an exaggeration. But it was placed by Mundo during the laning phase, and it's been there ever since. Udyr coming around for a gank. In goes the Fizz onto Diana. Scarred for life, jumps away. Out comes the Dark Binding. Scarred for life, ends up getting the kill onto Janna and living. In the meantime, though, these guys are continuing to run. Vladimir manages to finish off the Fizz. Another Dark Binding there. Down goes the Kha'Zix thanks to it. Mundo is getting low, getting a lot of damage dealt to him. Flashes over the wall. He's going to be fine. Now Udyr's chasing Graves, who has absolutely no self-peel. He's going to die as well. And there we go. Bye, Graves. And Draven wanted to get this dragon. Not gonna happen, Draven. But right now would be a great time for the red team to shove this hard. I'm kind of surprised that Scarred for Life is not actually shoving this. He's gonna go ahead and go back instead. They're gonna get the tower anyway, though. They got this tower, not gonna get anything more. And honestly, even with the Diana here, I don't think they would have gotten much more. So probably a decent decision there on the part of Scarred for Life. Scarred for Life. Scarred for Life. Anyway. Udyr also takes the opportunity to go and shove the mid lane. So pretty much all lanes are shoving towards blue team right now, except for this bot lane. And it may end up actually shoving to... Yeah, it's going to end up shoving as well, because these are, I believe, going to be able to team up with these. I'm actually not 100% certain on that. I think so, though. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm not exactly the biggest creep manager. No, it is going to be continuing to shove for the red team, though, because this wave matches this wave, and this wave is already diminished now. I wasn't sure because there were a couple. Had it gotten there slightly sooner, they might have been able to focus that down, and then they would have had a numbers advantage and been able to focus down the enemy. But it's not going to happen. Maple Street getting low, going down. Another team fight, though. Out comes the Zhonya's from Fizz. Diana going in, does not land a Crescent Strike. Graves gets a kill there onto Fabbbyyy. Vladimir getting low, goes ahead and pulls himself to save. Out comes the Golden Vlad as well, but he ends up going down. And Diana and Udyr were really nowhere to be seen during that, but honestly, they really didn't have a choice. I mean, the fight happened before they could possibly get there. Diana did her best. She missed her ulti, or she missed her Q, and after you miss your Q, there's really not too much you can do for Diana. Really? You're teleporting in? What the heck was that? Teleports in, and unfortunately too late, and they're going to end up going down. Down goes Scarred for Life. And we do see Udyr trying to get that Graves, but he ends up going down as well. And that's another Baron there for the blue team. I definitely question that teleport there from Udyr. You're not going to be able to teleport in before they could burst it down. As soon as they saw that, they instantly went hardcore trying to burst it down. If it was Flash or something, sure, you could steal. It's pretty much impossible to steal after teleport, though. I can't see it happening. But we do actually have another engagement here. They're going in for the Vlad. Vlad getting low. Vlad goes down. Dark binding onto Mundo. Doesn't matter. Janna goes down, but shunts Fabbbyyy back. Fabbbyyy does manage to go and take down Graves before dying. He does go down to the Kha'Zix, as does MapleStreet. Actually, MapleStreet goes down to Fizz. So that is an ace there for the blue team. But Diana's on her way in. Not going to be able to do too much with this, honestly, though. As that would be a 3 versus... Oh, she's going. She's going. Down. Kha'Zix getting low. Fizz goes in. Finishes her off. Udyr around now, but he's not going to be able to do anything. These guys are going to be able to kite him for no end. So, unfortunately, no more kills there for the red team. And that is going to be a really successful push there by the blue team. Why can't I see this? What the heck? What about this? No, I can see that fine. I guess technically I could see Graves when he spawned. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Just a little minor visual bug in the thing. Alright, so we have a decent wave shoving down here, though. Wait a minute. Anyway. Mundo's here to go and shove it back. I do wonder if I was indeed incorrect about that, or if it actually made it to the tower before shoving. I wasn't paying attention to the creep wave, man. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, anyway. Fabbyy's hanging around here. He's got to watch out, though. Fizz wanting to go for this. Lands the fish. That's a dead Fabbbyyy. Dead Fabbbyyy is dead. He's a little bit too far out. I'm kind of surprised that fish landed. It's actually landed there and then reattached itself. I guess he was technically in the circle still, but I don't know. I don't know. Fizz going for the Diana now. Diana getting low. In comes Vlad. Out comes that pop-up from the Janna, and that's going to be a dead Fizz. Fizz is dead. Just kidding. Janna says, hey, you guys, get away from me. And that's going to be a live Fizz. Nice save by Janna. Dragon just got obtained again by the blue team. Kha'Zix managed to go ahead and solo that while this fight was going on up here. And that widened that gold lead now to 5,000 gold in favor of the blue team. So while for a while I actually thought that the red team was going to win this, it's definitely not looking good for them anymore. Blue team is doing work right now. Fabbyy's back up, and he's doing a decent amount of damage, but he's having to go for the Mundo there and not really getting much. Gets some damage onto Kha'Zix there. Actually, Kha'Zix is going to go down. Out comes the ulti. Fizz got an ulti there onto Diana. Diana survived it, though. And we've got more team fighting going on here. Flash comes out from Vlad. Actually flashes away from the team fight, but it goes back in, does a little bit of damage there to the Graves. Nothing too huge. A lot of damage going into Mundo, but of course he is Mundo, and he is just tanking up everything. Finally goes down, though. Dark Binding does not land onto Janna. Will they be able to catch this, though? The chase is on. I think not. I think Janna's going to be able to CC this Udyr, and he will not be able to get this. Yeah, there's the pop-up. Graves better watch out now. Okay, Udyr backs off. But was that enough to delay these guys? I don't think so. They're going to circle down bottom. Janna in this bush, she's going to be fine. This wave is now pushing. They're going to go for this tower, and they may be able to get it. The two members of the blue team are dead. Down goes the tower for sure. And they're actually going for the inhib. Blue team's respawning. I don't know that I agree with this. Stun comes out onto Fizz. Fizz gets low, but does not go down. He can still go back in. Kha'Zix goes in, gets somebody really low. Nobody dead yet, though. Nobody dead. Down goes the Vlad, though, finally to the Fizz. There they go for Morgana as well. Mundo came around to go for kills as well. Slow goes on to Diana. She's going to end up dying. These guys are going to be the only survivors there. Sticking around for that inhib, probably not in their best interest. They did get it, at least. But they're almost all dead now. And that may be enough for the blue team here to go ahead and close out this game. They'll definitely be able to get this inhib. I think they'll be able to get at least one tower, but I could definitely be wrong about that just because of the fact that there are super minions here. The super minions for the blue team aren't even spawned yet, and it looks like they're going to go for this tower instead, which honestly is probably a good idea. They had a minion wave here. Kha'Zix goes in for Fabbbyyy, though. That was not such a good idea. Gets really low, gonna go down there to the Udyr. Just kidding. Janna ulti, shoves him away. Actually, didn't even need to shove him away. That was enough to go ahead and heal up the Kha'Zix, and Udyr just backed off. They do take down the tower. They did not get this inhib. So, still one inhib to one inhib. More towers down there for the blue team's favor than the red team, though. So that's good news for them. Blue team says, hey, let's go top. Baron is up in a minute and a half. So we will see both teams start to position for that vision control around it. In large part, that's actually why they're shoving this out, so that they do get that wave control here and don't have to worry about their stuff being pushed in. Red team hanging around mid lane. Udyr actually going around and getting more farm in the jungle, which, I mean, Feral Flare stacks, man. They're pretty important. And there we go. Now he's going to shove this bot lane out. It will, at least currently, I believe, shove towards them again. Just because of that. This goes with that, should shove towards the red team. But we'll see. We'll see. I think a large part of it also depends on what the focus fire ends up going on here. Looks like they are actually focus firing this one minion, and that actually might be enough to go ahead and tilt it in their favor. I don't know. We'll see. Well, actually, we probably won't, because I'll probably forget about it again. Minion control is hard, guys. Minion control is hard. At least for me. That's why I'm silver. That's why I'm silver. And there we go. Yeah. Red team shoving out now because of that focus there. So, anyway, back to the fights now. Both teams are actually positioned around here, so we are probably going to see a team fight fairly soon. Janna hanging around in the background, but of course that's what she's good at. Able to go ahead and get that CC and just keep her teammates alive. She's a sport. It's what she's supposed to do. Fizz looking like he might be wanting to go for something here. Not going to end up happening yet, but it may happen soon. Briefcase lands onto Fabbbyyy, which is a very dangerous thing. There we go. Shunts the Fizz away. Out comes the Morgana ulti. The Solo King there did actually engage. Fabbbyyy getting low, but gets the heal. He's trying his best to survive this. Down he goes there to Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix goes down as well. Fizz goes in, goes for Scarred for life. Uses his Zanya, so he's actually going to survive this. Vlad is trying his best to go for Graves, but he's going to end up going down. Forced to pool. Down goes the Fizz to double kill there for the Diana. And a Dark Binding lands onto Janna. She may end up going down to this as well. Forced to flash out. Out comes the Tornado to go ahead and try to save them. Dark Binding lands onto Graves. That is a triple kill for Diana. Going for the Mundo now. Mundo getting low, but he's also doing a lot of damage to Diana. Diana goes down to the Janna. Mundo gonna end up going down as well, though. Yeah, he goes down. That is a 4 for 2 there, which 100% in the red team's favor, especially given the timing. They're going to be able to get this Baron now. There's really nothing that the blue team can do. The Vlad, Udyr, and Morgana, they should be able to do this, especially given the fact that the Udyr does have that Feral Flare. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage really fast to the Baron. Unfortunately, of course, the Baron is actually going for him, which means he has that debuff, which makes him do less damage. But they should still be able to burst this down long before the enemy team can get there. And yeah, it is dead. Finally, a Baron for the red team. That's their second attempt of the game. Well, technically their third if you count that random teleport there from Udyr trying to teleport steal. But I don't really count that one. Don't really count it. But that is a Baron buff there for the red team. They have definitely closed this gap. It's still there. The gap is still there, and Kha'Zix is about to widen it a little bit more. It's a 4K gold lead, but that is considerably less than it was before these engagements mid, and that's definitely a huge, huge thing for them. Both teams' inhibitors are back up, so we'll probably see both teams try to find a way to go for those open inhibs. We do see the red team headed for Dragon, which is already long gone. So they're not going to be able to get that. Fizz is shoving top here. Ward's coming out from Morgana, says, okay, yeah, it's gone. We're not going to get that. Oh well. That's perfectly acceptable. Although I do look forward to next season because Dragon has that stacking buff next season, which is going to be really cool. Vlad's shoving this out, though. And now the blue team has actually shoved this towards the red team. It is 100% going to go that direction, I think. Yeah. It's going to because that guy's still alive. Yeah. Anyway, back to the mid lane. I need to stop trying to analyze the minion waves in the games because it's probably not all that interesting for you guys. And I suck at it. That's a big part of it too. I suck at it. That's why I'm subbing. Alright, anyway. They are actually going for that mid, like I said. They're wanting to go for that inhib. It's exposed. That's the best one to go for. On the other hand, though, Fizz going for this bot lane inhib, and he'll probably be able to get it, but at what cost? He's probably going to end up losing their inhibitor, but honestly, if he can get 2 inhibs, that is 100% worth it. He's going for that inhib now. Nobody, actually no, Diana's headed back. Might be able to stop him if he decides to go for the second. They're going to be able to get this inhibitor for sure. Question is, what will they be able to do after that? Fizz is backing off, so he's not going to go for the second inhibitor quite yet. Diana's still hanging around. Hasn't shown herself yet, so Fizz thinks she went back. They could turn around and go for something else in the base. Probably not going to end up happening, though. I would guess they're probably going to go for one of these other lanes. But we'll have to see what ends up happening. Fizz did come back to lane, and we may actually see another team fight break out here. Red team backing off for now, though. They're going to have to watch out because, of course, their bot lane is down. If another inhibitor goes down, they're going to have a really rough time. So far has not happened though. They should be able to defend this. Now they just have to keep this bot lane shoved out and let the mid wave shove for itself. And hopefully for them, that blue team will not be able to go ahead and offset it. Already had a huge wave shoving though. It's a lot of farm for them. A lot of farm. Pretty happy. But ooh, a lot of farm for Fizz though. So cool being able to just instantly destroy an entire wave of minions. That ward does pick up the Kha'Zix. Gonna be able to land Dark Bind. Just kidding. Gonna be able to miss Dark Binding on him. Oh, Smite comes out from Udyr. You don't get that. You don't get that. Sorry, Diana. But you don't get that. Red team pings down bottom. Looks like the blue team is rotating up here to the top lane. This pink ward, still there. Still doing work. And it does allow them to know that the red team is not on their way up. Red team is on their way up in their own base. They're taking the very safe way. Good idea on their part. Blue team was ready for it. Red team says, we don't care. We're here anyway. There we go. There's the backs coming out there from the blue team. They're like, well, that sucked. Never mind. There may be an engagement coming out here. Wanting to go for this. Get the slow onto Vlad. Not really too big of a deal. Out comes the the smoke screen from Graves. Fizz going for the inhibitor here, as is Janna though, and Diana's the only one here. Flashes away from Fizz. Fizz is actually doing work though. Takes down the Fizz, or sorry, takes down Diana, Fizz does. And now it's a 4 versus 5 here. Ooh, Vlad getting low instantly there. Out comes his ulti though, increasing that damage. Draven forced to go ahead and go for Janna. Out comes the Golden Fizz as well. Down goes MapleStreet. Mundo diving. Down goes Fabbbyyy. Double kill there for the Kha'Zix. That is definitely game. That is an ace. And the red team has fallen. Nicely played there by the blue team. It's going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.